Catus, Maximus here, this time with a review of the XceLite 1001 quarter-inch drive socket set. This is just a imperial fractional set, with one exception where it has a quarter-inch square drive socket, which I thought was a little bit interesting. They actually made these for quite a few years, and I guess the long and the short of it is, I'm glad XceLite didn't get too far into the mechanics tool business. I guess they have a few positive points, but they're generally not super great quality control. At least that. They're not the best quality overall. Various things like they didn't print their name on the extension. You can kind of see it's just a bit warbly. It's even worse. I did pick this up mainly just put the ratchet and the spinner handle in my collection. But you can see the anvil on the spinner handle is just a little bit wobbly. Although I will have to admit that they did put in very strong ball detents, which I do like on quarter-inch drive tools. Just because everything's so small, I like the sockets to be held on a little bit better. The spinner handle does have a through drive, and it is steel, but you can see by the corrugations that it isn't one piece. This is one piece into the handle, so when you're using the ratchet in the back of this, you're relying on the strength of the plastic handle. In most situations, it's okay, but I would have preferred to see a through steel handle. The other thing, which is a little easier to see with this extension, is that they didn't broach it very deep. So the ratchets or anything that you put in there just barely holds. Besides that, overall, it's not a bad handle. It is using their organic acetate plastic, so it can build up an odor. Fortunately, this one isn't too bad. As far as how the sockets are concerned, let's take a look at a couple of them. They're not super consistent. As you can see, they're a little bit dull on these ones that have been turned down, and they're polished on the other sizes. If we take a look at the broaching of these sockets, whoop, I grabbed, because I didn't realize that this has a 1/4 inch and 5/16 square drive sockets, which I find a little bit interesting. But you can see they didn't chamfer the outside corners. It's not the greatest chrome plating. You know, there is no fluting of the drives. So they're kind of like those True Crafts that I recently reviewed. Just not the absolute greatest. I suppose that they are okay. Good quality steel. Just a bit of a cheaper set. That's just all there is to it. A lot of American tool companies, and this just doesn't, you know, seem to do the name of XceLite justice, because they made some pretty nice driver handles. That's nut drivers. That's really what they're known for. And so when they came out with this tool set, or me finally finding this tool set, just was a little disappointed. They could have put a little more effort into it. I do like the fine knurling. They do have XceLite stamped on the ratchet and USA. We can see this anvil is just not good. The chrome is peeling off. You can see that cut there, or it's just they didn't do any polishing. There's no chamfering. It does have sharp corners on it. Just not the happiest with it. I guess the anvil play itself is alright, and it's a simple little round head ratchet. I guess one other advantage here, or one other thing to mention, is that the ratchet is pretty small. You can see it's just about thumb size. So I suppose to finish this up, let's take a look at, I'm sure I'm not going to be super impressed with this ratchet mechanism, but let me get this little spring off here and we'll take a look, find the little edge, which is always exciting. This one's going to be real special to try to get apart. Just got it. On these small ones, they can sometimes really be a bear. I'm sure we're going to have a single pawl design in here. And indeed we do. There's our little ratchet mechanism, just a regular old SK style. This is the SK style design. And they even bothered to put a dual pawl in. It is a triple tooth. You know, it seems to be reasonably well machined and manufactured. But they could have set themselves apart by putting in a 2-pawl design, or maybe even licensing New Britain's design. So anyway, got this back together, got that lubed up. It actually is running a little bit better. And I will give them credit for making this. I counted out, this is like a 48 tooth or 50 tooth. So at least you have pretty fine teeth. You know, that's something to be said. But I wouldn't rush out to buy one of these sets, and I certainly wouldn't pay very much for it at, you know, a garage sale. I probably, you know, I paid $15 for this at a garage sale, and I think, you know, for its condition, it's not all rusty. It's probably easily worth that. But I wouldn't really pay much more than that, and that's kind of the thing, and that's part of the reason I do these videos. There are lots of tool collectors out there, and now somebody will have a better idea about these old XceLites that they just aren't anything too special. But it was still kind of neat to see this company known for nut drivers to see their attempt at socketry. And I do collect quarter-inch driver handles, so it is neat to include one of these. Or to add this to my collection, I should say. Anyway, really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus Max out.